Welcome to another episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. As always, I am your host and game master, Brian Kershaw. My pronouns are he, him, and thankfully, I am not alone on this podcast, because it would be boring just listening to me for an hour and a half. I am joined by several wonderful people who are also going to be playing characters during this episode. And the first of them is Erin. Would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I am Erin, and I play Sofie Inge's daughter, who is an academic, and both of us go by she, her.
Marvelous. Next up on my list is Bill.
Hello, good evening. My name is Bill Kruska. I play Dr. Lucius Jensen, and both go by he, him.
Marvelous. And last but never, ever least, Phoenix.
Hi, I'm Phoenix, and I am playing dashing, debonair, socialite Julian Benavides, both of us going with he, him pronouns.
Marvelous. Now, dear listener, I haven't necessarily told my players that this is going to happen yet, but...
What?
Poor dashing Julian has something he needs to deal with.
Dun, dun, dun.
During our last mystery, Julian suffered the broken condition and got a critical mental injury.
I mean, that technically happened.
He got a sexy new haircut.
Well, Julian was so startled by seeing the ghost of Sophie's mother that his hair turned stark white. Now, there is a chance that this may leave him with a lasting scar.
Yeah, it's fine.
Phoenix, before you remove all those conditions that you have, can I get a mental recovery roll, which is going to be your logic plus your empathy?
My logic plus thankfully we're adding empathy to that. My logic is 3, my empathy is maxed out at 5, so that'll be 8 dice.
But you also have 2 mental conditions, I believe.
Oh, yes I do, pardon me. So those are subtracted, so that will be 6 dice.
Now, Phoenix, before you roll this...
Oh god, now what?
There's one last key piece of information. This roll can't be pushed.
But what if it could?
There are library developments you can buy that would allow you to push this roll, but you don't have them yet.
What if it was for puppies? All right.
So don't fuck it up.
Thanks. Hopefully 1 success on 6 dice is enough.
All right. For each success you roll, you may remove one of the scars you would have gotten, or make permanent an insight that you obtained. Now, thankfully, Julian only had 1 scar. Dear listener, based on Phoenix's puzzled expression, we haven't gotten to see these yet. But whenever a character suffers a critical injury, there is a chance that it could be something that will be debilitating for them, or there is a chance it could be something beneficial if, and I mean if, they are able to survive it. We'll find out more of those as I inflict more critical injuries on my players.
Okay.
Crap.
I love it. I'm here for it.
I was so close to being able to take Julian down to physically broken as well, so...
You really were. You really were. I was one condition away.
Next time! Alright, well, the good news for you all, and it is actually good news this time, you get to clear all your conditions at this point.
Woohoo!
We just had to make sure that Phoenix has stayed on until that roll went through.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I feel like there was something else I was supposed to tell you about. Did Julian get anything cool last mystery?
Uh-huh.
What was that again?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. I got a shiny new fiddle from the neck.
Right. That.
And I'm sure it's just a really fancy fiddle that's not going to do anything to break my brain.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely not.
Cool.
So, the good news is, it's been a couple of months, so you've had some time in between the end of the last mystery and this interlude to be able to kind of play around, to learn about it, You've been able to work with Sofie and study the books in the library, so you know what this fiddle does, and how dangerous it can be. Because the instrument of the neck is no ordinary fiddle. Phoenix.
Ryan.
Whenever Julian is making an inspiration test to gather a crowd or to impress them with music, he gets a +5 bonus.
Holy shit!
However,
Yeah, there it is.
you knew it was coming. There is a small chance that if he plays it, he cannot stop himself.
Oh.
And he and every listener will suffer 1 mental condition per hour
Dang.
Until he is stopped.
until he is stopped or until he dies.
Holy shit!
Like, you will literally play your instrument
Mhm.
until your hands are falling to pieces.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would he? I'm assuming you'd have to somehow take the instrument away.
Mhm.
So we could like knock him out or make a check to take it, maybe.
Yep.
But if you disable the instrument from playing, i.e., cutting the bowstrings, for example, would that cause them to stop playing, or would he just be pantomiming playing until?
You could tap out a beat on it.
If you were to cut the bowstrings with the right knife, that would stop him from playing.
But would it ruin the instrument forever?
Yes. It would be far easier to try and knock it out of his hands.
So it's funny that you guys are mentioning, like, cut the bowstrings, knock it out of his hands. I feel like as we are discovering this, and, you know, I'm realizing what's going on with this, I am looking to each of you and reminding you of what happened back in the swamp. You better blow my fucking head off if that happens. Make it quick.
Well, no, we don't need to. We'll just knock you out, Julian. It'll be fine.
We can just, as long as we remove it from your possession, it seems like it would stop the curse.
Oh. Okay, that's a better plan.
But if you insist, I mean, as a
I
doctor, I
appreciate-
could
you know what?
probably just one right to the back of the head.
Check out the big brains on the nerds. I love it. You know what? I love this plan. I'm excited to be part of it.
You're lucky your friends are nerds.
This is true.
I have never disputed that. Neither Phoenix nor Julian has ever disputed that. And yeah, after seeing, what was going on with Ire with the neck, I don't think. I think I would have made that jump. But I like your plan better.
This is not my medical opinion, but it seems to me that Ire might have brought that upon himself.
Kinda.
All right, so armed with this fiddle, which will probably not be Julian's primary instrument,
Yeah, fair to say.
you are now informed about what it does. And I have a strong suspicion I know it will be the next piece of equipment you bring forward into our next mystery.
No, just leave it behind. Just leave it behind.
Be like, yeah, I don't need this anymore. Bye.
I do think that will be what I bring forward.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need to put it somewhere better than the cellar, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that because
Okay.
an item like that actually couldn't be stored in the cellar.
That was about to be my question. Wouldn't that be considered an item of power?
Yes,
Yeah,
it'd be considered a magical
That
item.
we would need the occult thing for that, yeah.
But we'll cover that a little bit later on.
But still, you can still carry it forward, right? You just can't
Yes.
put it in the
Yeah.
cellar right now. Okay.
Exactly. All right, now let's talk about Seattle at Christmas time.
I mean, do we have to talk about the gray?
Yes, we do.
Oh, those childhood memories of Christmas in the Northwest on endless loop on the radio. Some of you know what I'm talking about, others, you don't.
A white Christmas isn't really in the cards for Seattle and Ballard. With Puget Sound to the west and the Cascade Mountains to the east, the area tends to capture too much warm air for it to ever really snow. At least until today. But, despite the lack of snow in 1888, there is still plenty of holiday cheer to be found at the library. We find ourselves on December 25th, 1888, as the agents of the library have made time to visit and celebrate the holiday season. After coming in from the drizzling rain and past the boughs of spruce trees and sheafs of wheat hanging above the door, guests are greeted by butler Jeremy Hobbs, who is armed with a tray of hot toddies or mulled ciders to ward off the chill. He shows them to seats near the fireplace in one of the central chambers. There, Matthias is playing a Christmas carol on the pianoforte, while old Agda keeps shooing away anyone who tries to snoop at the growing pile of wrapped gifts. We slowly focus in on Julian Benavides and Sofie Ingesdottir, as the two realize that something, or more accurately someone, is missing from the festivities. Despite his assurances that he would arrive on time, Dr. Jensen is nowhere to be seen. Did I write this intro before Bill was actually late to the session? Yes. And I apparently willed it into being via my spirit board.
Hey.
So, as the two of you are kind of sitting, enjoying some of the warmth from the fireplace, listening to Matthias playing songs on the piano, what are you wearing for this holiday event?
Ah, shit. Damn it, Brian, you did it again with the homework. Springing the homework
Got
on
him! I got him!
I mean, this is a Christmas party. I feel like Julian's got this in the bag.
Yeah.
So,
Velour suit.
so I have arrived wearing a Santa costume, but it's not your average Santa costume.
You
right?
can't do slutty Santa in 1886, Phoenix.
I'm not doing slutty Santa. I'm doing suave Santa. Thank you very much.
It's a regular Santa costume, but it's assless.
It is a Santa costume tailored like a very, very well-cut suit. Just, red, you were joking, but yeah, probably some red velvet going on there with some fur. And even though Phoenix wouldn't care for this, Julian has probably got real fur on there. His hair is cut very, very short right now. So when it got all kind of bleached out from his ordeal back in the swamp, he was enjoying the Silver Fox routine for a little bit, but then it started getting a little skunky as his normal hair started growing back out.
Mm-hmm.
So he shaved it all off. So he's got pretty close cropped hair.
Okay.
Got the classic elasticized, white beard on him. But everything else is very well tailored and very nice.
And looking sleek.
Very sleek.
Excellent. And Sofie? It could just be her regular garb, too.
Because somebody didn't tell me about this homework, I am just gonna say that she is probably doing something more in a nod to some Scandinavian pagan traditions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she won't be doing anything that's associated directly with Christmas.
My God, please tell me she's going as Krampus.
No.
She's dressed as the Yule goat.
She is dressed as the Gabberbakken, yes. No, she's just wearing a nice outfit, and then she's probably got some kind of an jewelry, amulet, something on her, her clasp of her cloak or something like that. That's a nod to Scandinavian tradition rather than Christian tradition.
Marvelous.
Or something that she grossly misinterpreted from her mother's journal.
Even better.
Yeah.
The two of you are kind of left to wonder for a little bit where Dr. Jensen is. He sometimes runs a little bit late for events like this, but it's been longer than you would expect.
Well, Sofie, have you heard anything from our noted friend and colleague, Dr. Jensen? I thought he'd be here. You don't suppose he's drunk himself to stupor in a gutter or something, right? He wouldn't have done that.
No, I think he's far beyond any days of drinking himself into a stupor. He can handle his... Not to say that he doesn't drink that much in order to do that, but he can handle his liquor quite well. So I'm sure he just has some sort of errands or something that he's taking care of. I would hope I have something very interesting to give him later.
Oh, me too.
I hope he shows up later.
Maybe he's running around doing last-minute shopping.
I wonder if he's made... You know what? That's probably what's happening. I bet he decided that his gift for me just wasn't enough to celebrate all that our friendship encompasses and had to go get something else as well.
You're probably right.
That sounds like something Dr. Jensen would do.
Sure it does.
We drift away from the library and head towards Dr. Jensen's clinic in Ballard. There is a pair of horses who are hooked up to a cart outside, and he's had one last-minute appointment that has been scheduled, although not on the books. Dr. Jensen was being visited today, on all days, by Victor Conway. Now, listener, you may remember Victor Conway from our last interlude. This particularly scummy individual had obtained certain records belonging to Dr. Jensen on behalf of Sam Hazard, the husband of Linda Hazard, who runs the Wilderness Heights Sanitarium. Now, Dr. Jensen has not exactly been happy paying Mr. Conway some hush money, as it were, to keep these records from going to any kind of public light. However, Victor has not shown up on the other times to collect payments. Today, the man, as well as one of his criminal cronies, a tough-looking woman named Becky Punchy McLaughlin, has arrived. Victor is contentedly smoking a cigarette, standing in the clinic, looking over bottles of things. Bill, what is Dr. Jensen doing?
Dr. Jensen, upon Victor coming in and making note of, one, that Victor is here in person, and then there is also his hard muscle of Punchy, I think you said?
Yep. Becky Punchy McLaughlin.
Punchy McLaughlin, okay. But upon seeing them, he'd kind of give a grunt of like, oh, okay, they're here. But he would kind of purposely busy himself just trying to put away the last bit of, tools, utensils, or
supplies,
medical equipment. He'll make sure that because of course he was absent-minded and had to procure stuff on the last minute for Sofie and Julian. He'll kind of make sure that that's tucked away, like he'll kind of extra sure that it's going to be just tucked away safe. And then just kind of before he turns to face Victor, he'll kind of check his pockets, make sure he has his flask with him and his brass knuckles in his pockets, and we'll turn to face Victor.
If it isn't my favorite doctor.
And why am I graced with your presence here tonight, Victor?
Oh, well, I was thinking about going out of town for a little bit, and I wanted to make sure that we, connected beforehand.
Oh, you're going out of town, huh?
Say, what does ether stuff smell like? As he's holding a bottle of ether with a cigarette in his mouth.
You know that's flammable, right?
No.
To the point where you'd go up so quick, I wouldn't have time to put you out before certain degree burns would be set. If I put you out.
So, what I'm hearing is, don't try and smell it while I'm smoking.
No, by all means, take a big whiff.
I'll probably hold off for now. You mind if I keep this?
Yes.
Fun, Doc. So I wanted to swing by personally to talk to you for a bit.
Did he pocket the bottle, or did he put it back?
Oh, no, he set it back down to the counter for you.
Okay.
I mean, you mentioned it was flammable, so. So, Doc, I got a feeling you and I, we are very soon going to become excellent friends. Do you know? Yeah?
No, Lucius just does not respond. He just stares at him blankly.
So, our mutual acquaintance, Sam, he knows I got the records now. And he knows I'm holding out on him. Oh, he's mad, Dr. Jensen. He's so mad. So you and me, we got something in common. We both are pissed off Sam Hazard now.
Uh-huh.
But good news, Dr. Jensen. Victor Conway's not going to let anything happen to you.
Lucius cannot stop, but he just laughs. Oh, really? And how is that?
Well, I mean, we got certain people in and around town, like Becky here. Old Punchy McLaughlin can be, not too far away, just in case a certain Sam Hazard or one of his fine orderlies decides to go poking the nose where it don't belong.
Oh, is that so? He'll turn to Becky. You get rid of people poking noses where they don't belong?
Becky kind of stares at you and just kind of gives a shrug like, eh?
Yeah. Is there a going rate?
She looks over at Victor. Victor's like, yeah, you paid well. Jeez. Dr. Jensen, trust me, getting staff on hand who can actually throw a punch and hold a conversation is tough to do.
Becky, how about getting rid of someone poking their nose where it doesn't belong right now?
She raises an eyebrow at you. Haha, Dr. Jensen, you're very funny.
He'll just turn, look back at Victor. I'm not kidding. You just said that you upset Dr. Hazard and her husband as well, right? You're in the same predicament as I am. Let me tell you one thing right now. Give me the files and disappear, and you won't have this problem anymore.
You seem to be confused about the nature of our relationship.
No, I'm perfectly aware of. Honestly, the scum like you. oh my goodness!
Dr. Jensen, you're gonna hurt my feelings pretty soon.
I don't give a shit. So he'll turn back to Becky one more time. So, offers on the table. Hell, why not? I'm feeling generous. It is the season. I'll double what you're getting paid now to throw this piece of crap out into the street and make sure he never darkens my doorstep again.
Bill, I bet you're glad you cleared some conditions. Can I get a manipulation test from you?
I believe in you, Dr. Jensen. This is outstanding.
You can do it.
You got this, man.
Oh boy. Okay.
And Bill, tell you what, do you have any capital left over from the last mystery?
Well, yes. I have 3 capital left over.
I'll let you get a +1 bonus for every capital you want to spend.
Spend it.
Yeah, I'll spend all 3. I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, on 5 dice, I had 1 success.
All right.
One
all
more than I
right.
thought I was going to get, but
I'll be honest with you, Bill. It was 1 more than I thought you were going to get, too.
That's like 3 less than I thought you'd get.
I appreciate your faith, Phoenix.
So, Punchy McLaughlin kind of looks at this guy, looks back at you, looks back at Victor. Victor kind of takes a step back for a second, like, hey now. Let's not do anything hasty here. I don't think you want to go down this road, Doc.
What was my offer before? That's right. The files tonight, and you leave town, and it's not your problem anymore. Well, I'm going to mend it a little bit. The files tonight, and Punchy only roughs you up a little bit, and you leave town, and you don't have to worry about any of this anymore. Or you can see what the other option is.
He seems to consider it for a bit, and very slowly reaches into his jacket, pulls out a kind of wad of paper all wrapped together in some rubber bands and string. No one needs to get anything too crazy here, Doc. Just, you watch yourself. And he sets them on the counter and takes another step back. You were joking about that roughing me up thing, right?
I will look over to Becky. I will reach in my pocket. I'll just put it on the table in front of her. Throw him out and make sure he gets to the end of the block and doesn't turn around.
What'd you pull out of your pocket?
The capital, the 3 capital to pay her.
Marvelous. She gives a shrug, cracks her knuckles, and advances on Victor Conway.
This is great.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It is.
It's my favorite bedside manner.
As soon as they leave, Lucius will will look at the documents to check to see what was there, and then just to do a cursory glance if there's anything that might be glaring, that might be missing, that he might have held on to.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like it's just kind of copies of his military records and some of the other stuff?
It is copies of his military records. There is his discharge papers.
Okay.
He also finds records of some surgeries that he performed.
Okay.
He finds copies of some of his surgical notes.
That is concerning. They are copies of the note. They're not in his handwriting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they are copies of notes that he detailed out.
Okay.
So like stuff that he had in his journals.
Right. Okay.
He also has copies of the prisoner transfer papers.
Okay.
And several witness accounts and copies of correspondence that were sent between Dr. Jensen and various parties in gray.
Okay. He will...
Now, I'm just throwing this out there, Bill. The bottle of ether is right there.
No. Yes. Well, that will come into play in a minute here. He'll hold on to the letters, and he will hold on to the copies of his notes, because he is deeply concerned about what these could mean. The rest, he will find basically a metal bin or something, a metal container, throw them in, dump the ether, light it, and watch it until he's like everything is burnt out.
Yep. Before he leaves. Very easy. He's able to grab a bedpan, chuck him right in there, and just lights the whole thing up.
The stuff he held on to, he will kind of scurry away, kind of like in a far corner of like his desk, but to something that he will come back to gather later.
Excellent.
And Christ, he'll go get he'll remember to go get some of the presents, and out from where he surprising himself that
even
everything did not go sideways as he was anticipating. And he will go out and look to see if he can see any trace of Becky or Victor.
You were able to spot Becky kicking Victor's ass down the street. He is half running, half crawling, and getting the occasional boot to the backside.
Okay, and then if that's the case, I will lock up and then head out towards the library.
Sounds good. All right, it is a drizzly, chilly evening, but thankfully, when you arrive, you are greeted by Jeremy at the door. Who has hot toddies and mulled wine waiting, and various hot ciders, so warm beverage quickly helps Dr. Jensen warm back up. And you spot Sofie and Julian sitting near to the fire.
My deepest, sincerest apologies to both of you. I did not mean to be so late to the party.
No need to be so formal, Doctor. Is everything all right? Or...
I just stand up and hug you.
He will be a little like stiff and surprised at first, but he actually kind of relaxes a little bit with the hug.
God, Bill, you set me up so well right there. I just want it noted, the restraint that I exercised with that opening.
Yes, Phoenix, you did a good job.
Yes, sorry, it's been a rather eventful evening, but never mind that. We're here. It's festivity. Here, he'll hand Julian a fine bottle of 40-year-old bourbon that he's been holding on to for kind of like as a celebration. Just, I know you normally drink champagne and sometimes more elevated drinks, but you kind of hold out like this. I think might surprise you with the depth of flavor.
I take a step back, look down at the bottle in my hands. Well, thank you so much, my friends. I got you something too. And I hand you, so I go into my big sack of presents, which I absolutely have a big sack of presents for everyone here. Do a little bit of rummaging around through it. And you find something that looks like a long cylindrical shape with two smaller round parcels connected to the bottom of it. This is for you, my friend. I just made the GM facepalm so hard.
You did.
Proud of you, Phoenix.
This might be a horror podcast, but this is an interlude episode, and I'm going for it here.
All in.
That's different than usual. How?
Yeah, fair.
Tracks.
That's totally fair.
So, as you are handing over a present to Dr. Jensen, you hear from over by the pile of gifts, wait a minute. We're opening presents after dinner.
Oh, well, I guess you'll need to wait to find out what's in that package.
10 out of 10. Real dick move, making you wait.
Oh. That was well done.
All of the festivities are interrupted by the jingling of Morrison Cisco, who is wearing a holiday outfit bedecked in bells, and he is exceptionally excited to lead you all on a holiday tradition.
One moment, if I may interrupt for just briefly. Of course, the three of us absolutely know who Morrison Cisco is, but you might want to remind listeners, because maybe they forgot.
That is highly reasonable. Morrison Cisco is the gardener here at the library.
Yes.
And he loves plants.
Right.
His catchphrase is, "Ooh la la." And he is absolutely based on a certain Como TV personality.
Of course. I knew that.
But, for the listeners.
Right.
Let's be honest, I needed the reminder.
It was Bill. Bill's our listeners.
It's me, I'm listeners.
So, Morrison Cisco, totally no relation to local TV star Cisco Morrison, takes you all on a long-standing library tradition, the saluting of the trees. You are led in a brief procession out to the back of the library. Each of you are given cups of cider, and as a thanks to all of the apple trees, pour some of it out onto their roots, and then finish off the warm glass. As Aaron said in our chat, pouring one out for the homies. But the homies are apples.
I love it.
This is a Nordic tradition in some places and according to some websites, but is something the library has adopted, particularly with how apple trees have flourished here in the Pacific Northwest. Question for Phoenix.
Yes?
How does Julian feel being under these apple trees? As the last time he was underneath them, well, not these trees specifically, but underneath some apple trees in an orchard, he had talking spiders threatening him.
Yeah, no, that was fun. You know, I'm gonna say that as we get out towards the apple trees, there is gonna be that initial kind of recognition and shudder of remembering being alone in the mist and spiders talking to him. But then just looking around at the group that's assembled here, the uncontainable joy that is one Morrison Cisco. My two colleagues that I've spent a lot of time with, there is a sense of, you know what? Things were not great. We got through them. I kind of rubbed the side of my head where the hair is shaved down pretty short. We got through it. It's a good time to be with friends.
You hear the dulcet tones of Morrison Cisco just going, "Oh la la! Oh, I love this tree! Oh, look at the bark! Look at the apples! Oh, this is a beautiful tree right here." You just feel a little bit better being in this good company.
Incredible.
It's hard not to.
Your group, having warmed themselves with some cider, turns indoors. There is more music being played. There is more folks gathering around. Honestly, during the winter months here in the Pacific Northwest, it gets dark pretty early. And tonight is no exception. Matthias grins and turns to Jeremy before saying, "I do believe it is about time for our pre-dinner games to begin." Jeremy nods and hops up and then rushes away. After a few minutes, he returns and has brought out a silver tray covered in raisins and candied fruits. Everyone kind of clears some space in the room, and then he sets the tray down on a table and then hands a bottle of brandy to Matthias. "Now, let us all sing some songs and bring good cheer. Oh, and do make sure you all roll up your sleeves if you're going to be participating. This could be dangerous if you are a little too slow." He douses the contents of the tray liberally in brandy, and then pulls out a book of matches from his breast pocket. He strikes a match, holds that little fire above the brandy-soaked fruit. "I assume you all know how to play Snapdragon. Good luck." And then he drops it. Listeners, players, this is a fucking real thing the Victorians did.
Victorians were unhinged. Like, everybody's like, oh, they were so tight-laced and boring. And like, no.
Yup.
They were absolutely bonkers.
Yup. So, this is a game called
I
Snapdragon.
I just want to ask for a moment here. How does Dr. Jensen feel about his second instance of things going up in flames in front of him here?
The thought crosses his head of, it would have been nice to see Victor in a pyre. And if Julian looks over, you just see the kind of this little smile start to glint in the corner.
Oh, Bill.
Dr. J dissociating, thinking about murdering someone.
I love you, man. I love this.
It's fantastic.
I love our little crew.
All right, my dear players. This is the game Snapdragon. This is, again, an actual real Victorian game where your objective is to reach into the brandy-soaked fire as fast as you can to pull out fruits and raisins without getting burned too bad. If you are able to get more than anybody else, you win. So, I thought it'd be an interesting thing to actually give you the opportunity to participate if you would like to. The way this will work in game terms is you will make an agility test, something all of you are good at.
Uh-huh.
If you get the highest number of total successes, you can get a free talent.
Ooh.
Either the Brave or the Lightning Reflexes talent.
Man.
Matthias, Jeremy, and Stefan the Guard are also all participating.
Oh man, here I was about to see if I could pay Stefan off to do it for me.
You can push this roll. However, if you push it, any negative conditions that you pick up now will roll forward into the next mystery. Finally, if you get 0 successes, a small part of your body will catch on fire. And I have rules for what happens when you catch on fire.
Fuck it, YOLO.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophie's definitely doing it. This doesn't help her mechanically, but I just want to say that when she's making the cheese and she's doing all the stuff to prepare for her cheese experiments, she's got her hands are like totally covered in she's always burning herself. She doesn't give a shit about getting her hands burned.
Matthias rolls down his sleeves. You see his arms are covered in old scars, a few burns. He looks like he's been through the ringer. Julian said he's participating. Is Dr. Jensen getting in on this?
Yeah, why not?
That's the spirit.
Do we have our upgrades yet? Are we gonna?
Yep. We'll talk about what those are a little bit later on, but
Okay.
Yes, you all have whatever stats you've increased.
Okay. Thank God.
Let's hope it's agility.
Spoilers, mine was not agility.
Surprise.
All right, so everybody make an agility test.
It's going to be 3 for me.
I just got some new dice, and I'm gonna roll them.
I have 1 success on 3 dice.
I also got 1 success on 3 dice.
So on 6 dice, I had 2 successes.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right.
Dang, bobbing and weaving. I didn't know that Dr. J was so dodgy.
I think we all know he's a little dodgy at least.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd set that up.
All right, now, would any of you like to push that roll?
No.
I'm okay.
All right.
He seems to have had a hard day. I'm going to let Dr. Jensen win one.
Very generous on your part. Matthias, Jeremy, and Stefan all got 0 successes.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
they did. Yes, they did.
So they're all going to push that roll. Jeremy and Stefan both got 1 success. Matthias, who proposed this mad endeavor, did not, and briefly catches a little on fire.
I would like to help put him out if I could.
So there is a moment where he looks back and sees that just the little edge of his sleeve that was not properly rolled up is burning. And it starts to spread up his arm as Dr. Jensen runs forward. And then old Agda just throws a pitcher of water at him.
We're sure it's water?
It's almost definitely water.
All right.
Surprise, it's ether.
Yep.
I've decided I'm done with the library. Burn, motherfuckers! I'm taking you all with me. So Dr. Jensen helps to kind of pat Matthias down as he is sopping wet. Everyone has a good laugh over it. It is thankful that no one got seriously burned. And Dr. Jensen, you have successfully won this Christmas debacle. So feel free to take either the Brave or Lightning Reflexes talents.
You already have Brave, don't you?
I have neither.
Oh.
He has a Army Medic talent that gives him a bonus when encountering corpses.
Oh.
But he doesn't have Brave yet. And he might need it as often as he is getting supernatural things.
I was going to lean into Brave. I think Brave's a good addition here.
I think so. So everyone has had a thrilling, exciting time playing Snapdragon. Dr. Jensen managed to collect a couple of candied orange peels and a few raisins, making him the winner. To the large set of applause from the various assembled parties. And maybe half hour later, Jeremy rings the dinner bell, signaling it's time for the meal. With the help of several hands, he and some other staff and some of the other various library investigators have prepared a Yule board for you all. This is a Christmas feast that is very common in Scandinavian countries, including salt-cured pork ribs, mutton, spicy sausages, cabbage, and rice puddings. There is also a special type of bun called a lussekatter, which is a bun shaped like an S that resembles a cat, with little raisins for eyes. And to drink, everyone is served glog, a type of spiced mull wine that is fucking delicious.
Ooh.
Now, you are all treated to this fine, amazing meal. There's pleasant company, chatting. However, Sofie, you are spending just a quiet moment as the meal's being served, getting some food, and your eyes kind of drift down to this glass of glog that you have, this hot wine, and you watch a little bit of steam rising up from the surface of it. And you can't help but think of when you're trapped inside of the sauna, and also some of that vapor and mist rising up from the water. How is Sofie feeling, learning about what happened to her stepfather and to her mother?
She always had kind of this habit of, like, not having conversations with her mother, but just like, what am I going to do about this, mama, and stuff like that. And now she's thought a lot about her stepfather and what happened to her mother. And she spent a lot of time feeling guilty, especially, for not being able to help her mother for many years, and for assuming that her stepfather was, nefarious, or at least good for nothing all this time. But she is trying to sort of get past that and just, like, not exactly honor their memory, but just give more respect to her stepfather. And she's started talking to him as well. And, and what she started doing that she never did when she was a child, when she actually knew him, is she's calling him Papa. And she's making an effort to, like, remember things between them in the years before he disappeared. Things that they might have done together or whatever. And if she comes across anything like that, she's like, oh, you would have loved this, Papa. And as well as, still talking to her mother here and there. And she's really trying not to, like, wallow in the guilt, and trying to get past that and make, something positive out of the memories and the knowledge that she found. But she is definitely thinking a lot about what happened to them and what's going on with her and all that kind of stuff.
Now, obviously, this is a big crowded dinner. Is there any NPC that you would like to interact with for any of our player characters? Anybody you're looking to chat with over dinner?
Nothing in particular. I'd certainly be mingling and chatting with everybody, but nothing in particular.
Yeah. I would actually go seek out Stefan if I had a spare moment to get away from.
Oh, definitely. He kind of gives you a nod and claps you on the shoulder.
Good evening, Stefan. How are you doing this evening?
Doing all right, sir. How about yourself?
Lucio's kind of lean back a little bit and kind of ponder, take a deep breath. You're like, well, guess I'd have to say I'm surprisingly doing better than I thought I would. Seems like I got some an annoying gnat out of my hair, and it's just surprising. It's kind of relieving weights off my shoulders.
I can certainly understand that, sir.
That is also why I wanted to just speak with you. While I think I've ridded myself of a pest, I can't help but worry that someone might still try to come and cause trouble either for me or for the library. For me, that's fine. I invite whatever I invite, but I just wanted to make you aware. If anyone's suspicious or anything, please let me know, or please don't hesitate to get the police involved. I don't want, and he'd kind of gesture more towards like old Agda and Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want anyone here to be the victims of any ill will.
Of course, sir. I won't let anything happen to this place or these people.
Thank you, sir.
All right. As you all have enjoyed your meals, gotten a chance to digest, spend some time chatting, relaxing, I think it's a fantastic time for us to dive into a little bit of mechanics. Let's talk level ups.
Yay!
Yay!
Aaron, what has Sofie done for leveling up?
Sofie has put a big point into physique and also a big point into precision, which costs extra but will add a little to all of the rolls that use those skills. So, and then physique affects agility, close combat, and force. So that's the only reason I had 3 dice earlier. My agility.
Now, one thing for our listeners who do play Vossen, this is a house rule we've actually added in to allow characters to increase their attributes. In the core book, you can only increase skills or buy new talents. But we thought it'd be a little bit more interesting to be able to actually change your attributes over time.
Plus, it is a great sync for having when you have a whole lot of points, but you're already kind of rich and already kind of good at, or like super good at learning and all this other stuff.
So what I'm hearing is we're basically golden gods.
We're basically gods. We're basically God.
Well, we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to that. Phoenix.
Yeah.
What is Julian picking up this level up?
Yes, with this level up, I have increased my observation a couple of levels, so it is now observation 4, which I believe is the Vossen equivalent of kind of like an insight.
Yep, that's right.
So that has ticked up to 4, and beyond that, what can I say? Everything is coming up Julian lately. Things have been going well. Lucky breaks just seem to abound. I got rich. So I have increased my wealth again by 2, leading me to a resources of 8, which I believe is the cap.
Phoenix, can I jump in for a moment?
Yeah.
You are not rich. You're filthy rich.
Filthy, stinking rich.
Filthy rich is the actual category. Now, we are going to tweak this a little bit. The book describes a level 8 resources as being a Rockefeller, you hobnob with the leaders of the country. We're going to say for our purposes an 8 resources is you are hobnobbing with the people of, top tier Seattle. The Henry Yeslers, the, Denny's, the city elites know who you are on site, and you got cash that you basically have new moneyed your way into being one of them.
Yeah.
Now, I've been putting a pin in a lot of things so far. We're going to actually cut to a short flashback scene once we finish Bill's level ups to talk about why Julian has been able to get quite so much cash.
Do we really? Are we that kind of podcast? Is that something we
sometimes?
Is this our OnlyFans content? And yeah, Dr. Jensen, having experienced being, locked in a haunted sauna and having to deal with kind of being restrained and just in general, just been a lot of physical exertion recently. So he's kind of taken a page out of Julian's book and worked on his force, increasing that 3 to 5. He is also trying to work on his awareness, so he's increased his vigilance 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as we spoke a little bit earlier in the episode, he finally has his clinic up and running, kind of established in Ballard, and so now he has increased his resources by 1, bringing him up to a paltry 6 compared to the other 2 members of my group.
Isn't Sofie also at 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Sofie was at 7.
No, I backtracked that last time and ended up not going up.
Decided 6 was enough.
Never enough.
Because I didn't, I felt like 6 is already, wealthy or something?
Mm-hmm.
And so with her, like, what she's doing, I didn't really want to... Like, there wasn't a reason that I wanted to apply to her in order to make it go up, so...
Look, you guys, it's fine. If you need that introduction to the Yeslers, I gotcha. I can call in a favor.
Plus, Sofie hates rich people. Present company accepted.
Now, we are going to briefly cut away and travel a little bit back in time. Back in the spring, before Dr. Jensen had made his way across country, Julian, Sofie, and Kaelin had just solved the mystery of the Skepsra. And in the quiet hours of the night, while Julian was recovering after the frightening incident with the Huera during the late spring, we see a figure, very, very small, tiny Vatir, creeping through the library. This little figure, while looking around, hefted up one of those gold coins, the dragon gold. Went scurrying out of the library, moving through a tiny crack in the wall, weaving through areas of the house before finally getting into the kitchen. He was skulking his way towards an open pile of grapes when a thump landed on top of him, and a cat devoured him whole. The coin slipped from his grasp, rolled across the floor, and accidentally lodged itself in an open violin case, left behind when you brought a mad raving Julian who thought he was talking to his father. And that has been the source of Julian's incredible, phenomenal wealth, where everything has just seemed to always go his way.
Oh no.
Doesn't he need to roll for things happening for that?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, God!
I hate those words so much.
I know.
I like that that's become my catchphrase on this podcast.
For real.
Now, of course, the great news, none of you know that that's wedged in Julian's violin case, and that's been the source of his phenomenal success.
It's fine.
Now, with meals eaten, leveling up being completed, we are at the most important part of the Christmas celebration, the giving of gifts. The group of you make your way back down to the large central study, and Agda supervises the passing out of gifts, which is somewhat problematic because she tends to forget who people are about halfway through the ceremony. But you all find ways to make it work. Since we have all been waiting with bated breath, Phoenix, what is this mysterious phallic package you have given to Dr. Jensen?
I never said it was phallic.
You implied.
Looks like a rocket ship with 2 boosters.
It's just a zucchini and some oranges. I don't know why you guys have to be so perverted.
So, yes, upon unwrapping this in no way phallic, but entirely phallic package, you find in there a bottle of a very fine aged Bowmore Scotch that I have brought in from Scotland directly. The two smaller packages that were connected to it there, you find two cut crystal Glencairn glasses to go along with it. There is also a small card attached to it, which simply says, "Merry Christmas, Dr. Jensen. I hope this finds you well. You've earned it. Also, it may be worth giving this person a call when you can." And you find there is contact information for a certain individual that you met a while back in our house.
That's true.
And it is the contact information for one Gaston Le Bon, the psychiatrist or alienist, I believe he was, that you met over at our house with Big Bill.
He hasn't quite looked at the card yet. He's still just admiring the bottle.
Fair enough.
And he kind of just looks at you, gives you a very brief hug, and says thank you.
Oh.
I kick my heel up behind me as the hug takes place. Dr. Jensen, this is all I wanted.
And you ruined it.
This is all I wanted for Christmas.
You ruined it. I'm done.
I really thought Julian was just going to say, "Dr. Jensen, stop being so emotional."
You made it weird.
All right. Phoenix, did you have any other gifts to give out?
I do. I will start out by casually asking Stefan if he could bring the package forward. It's a little large, so I didn't want Agda trying to lift this on her own.
Mm-hmm.
But he pulls out, so Stefan comes out with a pretty large wrapped box on a sled. Not like a full-blown like Santa sleigh, but just like a classic sled that he's pulling out.
Mm-hmm.
And I present it over to Matthias. Looking at Matthias, this is for you, but it is also for the library, for all of us to enjoy.
Julian, what have you found? What is this?
Well, I suppose there's only one way to find out now, isn't there, Matthias?
I suppose there is. And he will...
Agda, can you open this for him?
He will unwrap it. What is the gift that you've gotten from Matthias in the library?
Yeah, so this would be incredibly rare at the time, as the technology for this is very, very new.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a large box, kind of a platform, with what looks like a place for a cylinder to be placed, with a large kind of bell horn to it. This is essentially a prototype of one of the early phonographs that plays wax cylinders. And part of Julian's success is he has been discovered by somebody who is kind of in charge of these, and he is one of the first now recordings of popular music. So there is the phonograph itself, and there is a small collection of wax cylinders, half of which
are Julian.
Yes.
Marvelous.
That's awesome.
Any other gifts from Julian?
Yeah. So Dr. Jensen has received his scotch. Sofie, Agda is going to present to you a very finely wrapped, but just kind of plain looking box that you can open up. It's got a nice blue ribbon on it.
She will carefully remove the ribbon and tuck it into her pocket, and then she will rip the paper to shreds to get open the box.
As I see you attacking it, gently, please. And as you peel back the paper, you will find a first edition Hans Christian Andersen, volumes 1 through 3 of the collected works. This is about 50 years old for this time. I was looking it up today, today there's like 6 copies of this in existence. It wouldn't be quite that rare
But still.
at this time. But this is a very, very rare, hard to find item. But Sofie deserves it.
Aw. That's so sweet. Thank you, Julian. This is so thoughtful of you.
Yes, I know.
And not an inappropriate symbol in sight. I'm very appreciative. I mean, it would have been funny if you'd done that too, but I'm very appreciative for the gift. Thank you.
I have a serious side as well. It's just not necessarily my best side.
All your sides are your best side, Julian.
Well, that's also true. But I give you a little kiss on the cheek, and thank you for everything you've done for us. I wouldn't be the man I am without the nerds around me.
I'm happy to be your resident nerd or something.
On that note, does Sofie have any gifts to give?
She does. So I'm sure you all can guess how she's transported her gifts into the library Christmas party.
Is it skirt pockets?
It's skirt pockets. So yes, she will put the books in, as mentioned, she always has at least one empty pocket for new books. So she will put the books into that pocket, and out of another rather bulky pocket, it's sort of tightly wrapped to keep it to a manageable size, and it's sort of lumpy and tied with like some colorful like string, and she will hold it out to Julian, and this is something that the girls and I worked on. All the girls at the house have participated in making this for you, and we really hope that you'll like it.
Well, with that many hands contributing, I'm sure I'll love it. I will go ahead and unwrap.
So it is not a literally ugly sweater, but it's what we might think of as an ugly sweater. But it has a lot of different patterns in it, like a couple inches of one pattern, and then it turns to something else and something else. And it actually turns out to be pretty cute, but a little weird. It's a little weird. And it's maybe not exactly, symmetrical.
Julian shaped.
It's just, slightly wonky. You can tell it's a little handmade, but it's made with love.
So I pick this up and just, with both hands, just kind of bring it up and kind of cuddle it into my chest. Thank you very much. And I know the real reason you brought this for me. And I'll go ahead and take off my very finely tailored suit and come down to bare-chested and put it on. Well, it fits like a glove of sorts. Thank you so much.
So, some sort of glove. I'm sure there are gloves that are meant to fit like that. I just haven't seen them yet.
But I am genuinely grateful, and I am beaming as I put this on.
Aw.
Now, did Sofie have any other gifts to give out?
She does. Her next stop will be Dr. J, as he's he's probably not sampling his fancy liquor yet, or is he? I don't know.
No, he's still admiring the bottle.
Okay.
It's not going to last that much longer before he cracks it open.
So she will hand Dr. Jensen a heavy, again, very awkwardly stored in her skirt, because she had to put it like in the back, because if she didn't, she would have been kicking it every time she walked, and it's kind of heavy, so it was like dragging her skirt pocket down a little bit. It's a round, like a sort of a heavy round package, and it's just wrapped in like brown paper, and she will hand that over.
When you say heavy, just like approximately like how heavy?
It's a cannonball.
Like 4 pounds.
Okay.
but like dense, like it's
It's
small,
heavy
dense.
for its size. Kind of
Yeah.
So he kind of looks hefts it, and he kind of looks at you and kind of like looks kind of at the side like, never mind. Thank you, Sofie. And he will start to kind of meticulously just kind of unwrap it along. He's not going to tear into it. He's just kind of basically trying to unfold what it is and opens the gift.
So it is a small wheel of cheese, and it has a little card on top that said it is whiskey barrel aged cheese. So this is one of her cheese experiments that thankfully, since it was for a gift, it actually went well. That she made the cheese and then she aged it in a whiskey barrel that she obtained to get sort of a whiskey flavor to it.
I want whiskey barrel aged cheese.
On brand.
Listeners, if you want to send some to Bill.
I made that up as a gift for Dr. J, and then I was like, let me go look up how you make cheese to make sure this is even physically possible to do. And yeah, it is.
That's awesome. I don't know. Thank you very much, Sofie.
You're very welcome. I only had to throw out 3 or 4 attempts before I got to this one. I think this is a very good result that we got with this.
Kind of cocks one eyebrow. Oh, okay. He just kind of puts it gently down right next to
Okay, so let's see. Who would, we'll just say, she already sent off what did I say? Hold on.
I believe you were sending a gift off to London.
Right. Okay. So yeah, she has already sent out a gift to Hamish, which is a book by Henry James that's called The Bostonians, which was originally published as a serial in a New York newspaper and then just recently has been published as a whole book. And based on their talks about books and stuff when he was here, she's sending him that since he's gone back to London. And last but not least, second to last, I already forgot what gifts I got. So she will go to Agda, and Agda is still handing out presents, and I'm guessing that Agda looks at her like, which one do you want? What do you want? And Agda, actually, I have something for you. Well, it's not a physical item yet, but I thought that I've been doing a lot of tinkering at home with working on my various cheese experiments and other things, working on my house and working with the girls on the farm side of it. And I thought perhaps you might want a little tune-up of sorts to your wheelchair. Is there anything that you would like to have done to it? Would you could it ride smoother, or do you want maybe some flair added to it or anything like that? Is there anything like that I can do?
Well, the back wheel does squeak something fierce.
Oh, well, think bigger than that, Acta. We can fix that in just a moment.
You and I will talk about it at some point. I suppose there are some things we could add. Maybe a comfier seat and...
Oh, yes.
Maybe a spot to put a cup on here.
Oh, yes. That's a great idea. All right. I'll write these down.
And I could steal that big bottle of liquor from Dr. Jensen.
Oh, I'll absolutely help you. That's an incredible idea.
So the two of you can kind of later on do some sprucing up of her chair, making it a little nicer, making it a little comfier, and doing some overall improvements on it.
Okay. All right. Then she'll pat Agda's hand, and then she'll move on to Matthias.
Mm-hmm.
And she, just out of her, actually, like her little bodice jacket pocket, she will pull out a really small parcel that's only a couple inches square, and she will hand that over to Matthias.
Sofie, you did not need to get me anything. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's just a little something to help you stay hale and healthy as we want you to be.
He opens up the box and takes a look at it. What's inside?
There's a little chain, and it has a little medallion at the bottom that's only about half an inch across or something like that. And on one side it has a sort of a very short, like, to your health sort of phrase in Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
And then she definitely checked and did not use her mother's journal to get a phrase from. So it actually does say something that makes sense. And on the other side, it has some interlocking circles in like a strange pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, of course, Mira, and we've become friends, and she helped me make this, and it's just a little amulet to ward off troubles of the heart and to soothe any heart issues that may come up.
Thank you, Sofie. This is very kind of you. It is very appreciated.
You're welcome. We just want you to be as healthy as possible and continue running the library for many years to come. Please cut out that I said library.
I shall run the library as best I can.
I want you to run the library as long as possible.
Thank you, Sofie. This is most generous.
Well, you'd be surprised what Mira is able to help with when she gets her hand on a few animal organs.
That actually sounds quite creepy.
Oh.
So it's a little unsettling, actually.
Well, no, I didn't kill any animals to take their organs and give to her. It was just a, sort of a byproduct thing of some of the animals on the farm. But yes, okay, well, let's just leave it there.
He appreciates the gift and the spirit with which it has been given to him.
Yeah.
All right, and Dr. Jensen, were there any other gifts that you wanted to give out?
So it's kind of funny that Sofie gifted Dr. Jensen some cheese. So Dr. Jensen was a little bit of the loss of what to get Sofie. So he had procured, knowing her proclivity towards cheese, had worked to procure some just different cheese varieties around the different regions on the Pacific Northwest.
Oh!
And then also just basically find a nice bottle of wine. And with that, a simple but nice looking journal for, to take notes on different accents of cheese and stuff. He kind of just, and he would need the help of Matthias and old Agda to help kind of wheel out essentially like a charcuterie board for everyone.
Wow.
Just like, well, not quite sure what to get a woman who has anything. Oh, he's like, oh, wait a minute. And he will run back off to the kitchen, come back. He has gotten a fish for Yurts and puts it on a plate for him to...
Yurts is over the moon about this.
Yes.
He's having the greatest Christmas feast.
If you can't tell, Dr. Jensen, while terrible at expressing empathy and caring, would like to express it through the means of liquor and food.
Hey, I mean, what better way? That sounds good to me. This is so thoughtful, Dr. Jensen. Thank you so much. It's nice to see we're all rather like-minded, and we've all come to know each other quite well, and giving gifts of cheese and tasty alcohol and things like that, so that's very nice. Thank you.
And this incredible sweater.
And a beautiful handmade sweater.
Lucius will turn to Jeremy. Could you go fetch a couple more glasses? And he will open the bottle of scotch.
Of course. He runs off to go get the extra glasses.
And so he'll start pouring it out for everyone in the room to have a sip.
Have a nip.
Yeah, well, more like a cheers for everyone.
Glasses are brought out, scotch is poured, cheers are made, toasts are said. The night goes well. There is a warmth flowing through the room as Christmas cheer begins to flow through all of you, as well as alcohol.
And then nothing terrible happened, right?
Not yet. Matthias comes over to Julian and Dr. Jensen. I have a small gift for the two of you. It is, he procures an envelope from his jacket pocket and hands it to Julian. This is, something to say thank you for the fine work that you have done for the library this year. I wish to show great appreciation, particularly as you have confronted several trying matters and peacefully resolved issues with many Vasen this year.
I nod toward him and thank you, Matthias. It's been, I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little crazy being here and learning everything that I have, but don't tell Sofie I said this. I feel like there's still more to learn. So, thank you.
He smiles and lightly places a hand on Julian's shoulder. Inside of that envelope, there are some tickets. I have gotten for the two of you a trip up country that will cover a coach ride up to a hotel located in Crescent Bay. It is a beautiful area, and I thought a little bit of time away now that things have calmed and settled might certainly help deal with some of that craziness.
My goodness.
And you hear from behind you a cackling from old Agda. Crescent Bay? I know someone up there. That's where Olga Kraus is. And Matthias kind of furrows his brows a little bit. Oh, I've already told her that they're coming. I overheard you doing the planning. Matthias kind of huffs a little bit about this, nods at you both very curtly, and then just goes, Merry Christmas, and has to scurry away.
I give him a hug before he walks away.
He gives Julian a quick hug, and again just says, thank you for all you have done for the library. And watch out for Olga Kraus. And then kind of just...
Is this Julian's Olga?
No, this is not.
Oh, it's a different Olga. Okay.
Different Olga. But I will take the 2 tickets that I have in my hand and turn over to Dr. Jensen, kind of fan them out in front of my chest. Well, road trip?
Yeah.
And Julian just invented road tripping.
Agda will also share that Matthias had a little bit of a falling out with Olga after she left the library after a long argument with him. Olga believed that there were rituals and secrets known to the Vasen that the library should be pursuing, even if it risked exploring darker magics.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm jelly now.
But she can assure you, Olga is perfectly fine.
So what you're saying is it's going to be fine.
Yeah. Nothing could go wrong.
Don't worry about it.
That's what I was going to ask. So there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
Is there a rifle over the fireplace right now?
No.
No.
There's a scythe. Matthias has one more gift, and this one is for Sofie. He has some more tickets. This time, tickets covering a train ride and return passage on a steamship to Norway. I'm assuming Sofie has been reporting in on most of what's been going on since she's been keeping the annals of the society.
Of course.
And Matthias has been regularly reading those and keeping up on your experiences. What you have suffered has been an extreme stress. Had I known that anything was going on related to the spirit of your mother, we would have summoned all of the resources of the library to put it right.
To be fair, I didn't necessarily make it known to everyone what was going on at the time, so it's definitely no fault of yours.
Of course, but I believe, though, that taking some time to process everything that has happened would be good for you.
Yes, I think you're right, Matthias.
I also suspect that it may be good to put your mother's memory, as well as your stepfather, Michael's memory, to rest back in your homeland.
Yes, that would be a wonderful send-off to that final memory of her.
It is the least we can do to help cover the cost of passage.
Thank you.
If you should find yourself wandering through Bergen or any of the various cities of Norway, let me know if you find anything else about that strange mask. The one you detailed in your notes is most puzzling and concerning.
Yes, Matthias, you know that above all else I am an investigator. And thus, even if I am on vacation, so to speak, I will be investigating.
He nods.
There are many mysteries that perhaps I could get some information while I'm there. I would definitely be on the lookout.
He gives Sofie a gentle hug. We will look forward to you coming back. But don't worry about Julian and Dr. Jensen. They're going to be taking some time to relax up at a nearby hotel.
Oh, that's good to know. Please, do take care of them while I'm gone, especially Julian.
That is part of why I wanted to arrange this. Get them some time to actually be able to enjoy themselves.
Yes.
When nothing dangerous or supernatural was going to happen.
Yes, and I'm sure it definitely sounds like that will be a nice, uneventful little jaunt for them, so that will be great.
Smash cut away from Christmas. The waters steadily crash against the beaches of Crescent Bay. Everything inland is dark and still, while the choppy waters are lit by the steady glow of a tall lighthouse. We slowly sink down, over the mud-flat beaches and up the craggy shores. We spiral down a ravine, traveling along snowy paths with fresh-made tracks. We descend further and further still, through a dense tangle of shrubs and half-grown cedars. We find ourselves in a cave. It is lit only by firelight. Voices reverberate and echo through the cavern, filling it with voices chanting in Latin. Ave princeps tenebrarum, concilium princeps malediquarius, Ave satis. 4 figures stand over a small fire. They each throw a pinch of salt from their left hands into the flames, which suddenly shrink and sputter. From somewhere nearby, a woman begins screaming, and the sound sputters and changes, becoming a guttural screech. What rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Crescent Bay to be born? We'll find out next time.
Dr. Jensen, isn't this relaxing?
Bye, guys!
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Spirits and Monsters of Old Seattle. Our theme song is Myths and Legends by Robert Bruckmeyer and is playing right now. Our episode music is from the incredible Andreas Lundstrom's RPG soundtracks, and you can hear more of his work on the Sweden Rolls podcast. Our editor is Hannah Cheney. If you've enjoyed the show, it would mean the world to all of us if you could share it with a friend. Or an acquaintance, a stranger, even an enemy. We're not super picky. However, it is the single best way to help us get new listeners and continue to grow. If you've really enjoyed the show and you want to let the world know just how much, we're launching a storefront where you can buy some cool gear and a Patreon. You'll find the links in our show notes. We'll be looking forward to sharing more stories of the Vossen in the Pacific Northwest. But until then, remember the motto of the library. Fear gives way to knowledge. Knowledge gives way to wisdom. And wisdom gives way to the truth. Until next time.